My neighbor is convinced we're best friends and is stomping over any boundary I try to set. First and foremost, I have anxiety and a horrible track record in terms of friendships. But I'd like to think I'm still adept at basic social decency and cues. My neighbor, on the other hand, is like a middle schooler. She talks about very crude and sexual things in any setting, whether it be a busy restaurant, with kids around, or stores, again, with kids around. She talks about how many men are totally obsessed with her, and repeatedly has joked about me doing sexual favors for money because I explained that I can't afford going out to eat every day. On 3 occasions I've been forced to pay for her meals because her card declined, and she's treated me once at a fast food place. She also manipulated me into paying her $50 for furniture that I don't want, knowing that I have an inability to say no to people. I know that can't be completely blamed on her, but I told her 6 times that I wasn't interested in furniture that smelled like dog, and she refused to clean the pieces. Speaking of her dog, she's trained her dog to listen for when my door opens so she can track when I'm home. Not only is that just generally insane, I feel like I can't leave without her asking for a ride somewhere, since she doesn't drive. That leads me to the next thing, which happened today and prompted me to post. It's my one day off this week and I didn't want to interact with her at all, so I didn't answer when she knocked on the door. She asked if I was home and I lied, only for her to check if my car was in the lot and then ask to borrow it. She has no license, and I said no because of that and the fact that I don't have much gas right now. Her solution? Claim people in Africa run their cars on shit and then offer to fill my gas tank with shit for me. She makes me so incredibly uncomfortable, and now she's asking me to buy her baby stuff because she plans to get inseminated by a friend this month. Despite having no license, no car, and almost no money. What do I even do? I only live here for 6 more months, but I can't live like this anymore. I want to tell her to fuck off, but I genuinely fear she'll get violent or something. Edit, I sent a message asking her to leave me alone, then blocked her number before she could freak out on me. Turns out she's texted 23 times today talking shit about her mom and other people because they weren't giving her money. Go figure. I feel worried about going home and facing her, but hopefully she doesn't choose confrontation. If she does, I'm prepared to call the police and the apartment officers to help me out. Stop answering your phone and stop coming to the door. She can't force you to do either. Doesn't matter if she knows you're home. I also struggle to say no to people, so the strategy that works for me is avoidance. Can't recommend it enough. If she catches you outside leaving, say you're late for work/appointment. If she catches you coming home, say you're only ducking in before leaving again, or that you need the bathroom. I just moved away from a neighbor that harassed me for 3 years, so I understand the feeling. I ignored him as much as I possibly could, but I would say a brief hello if he greeted me. He didn't seem super mentally stable, so I didn't want to totally tell him to fuck off, because he knew where I lived. I stopped answering the door if he came knocking too. If you don't want to be friends with this person, then don't worry about what they will think of you. Stop talking to her, stop engaging with her. This neighbor was spying on me and walked into my backyard when I was clearing things out as I was moving. That was the last time I talked to him, and finally I felt comfortable enough to tell him to leave me alone. You've got this. Just stop talking to her. If you see outside or in the hallway, say hi. Sorry, I got to run and go. Don't answer her questions of where are you going, can I come, can you drive me to X. Don't ever give an excuse or reason why you can't do something because she will just override you. Trust me, I had a neighbor like this. I am convinced she would peep through the peephole and come upstairs a few minutes after I got home, or just happened to be going to the mall when I went on my day off, etc. It was extremely awkward. I felt like she knew my schedule down to the minute. I had to stop engaging. Also learn to say no. It will be helpful in the long run when you encounter more people like this. 1. Stop answering her texts and calls. Consider this like a bad relationship and you are, in essence, breaking up with her. 2. Do not buy anything from her mainly because you don't need it but mainly you are breaking up with this so-called friend. 3. Do not loan her your car or take her anywhere because you are breaking up with this so-called friend. 4. Call the police if she does anything crazy to you or your front door. Remember, you are breaking up with this person. You no longer have a relationship with her. Advice whisperer. My 23 meters girlfriend, 22F, acts weird around her dad. TL, doctor, my girlfriend is emo, strangely close to her dad and how they act makes me uncomfortable. Should I say anything? I've been dating this girl for about 6 months. Due to lockdown we haven't been going out much and I have been spending a lot of time at her house. She still lives with her dad who is early to mid 50s. Some of the stuff they do together is a little weird to me. I've never acted that way with my parents nor have I ever had a GF/female friend who's acted this way around her dad before. Maybe I am overthinking and this is normal. I have no idea. Which is why I came here for advice. They spend a lot of time in bed together, under the blanket, cuddling. There's a lot of physical contact. She will sit on his knee, hug him, even kiss him on the lips. She still calls him daddy, which seems a little strange for her age. One time we were in her room together, she had ran out of clean pajamas and said she was going to borrow one of her dad's shirts. She walked into his room almost naked and didn't seem to have a problem with him seeing her like that. There's been more times like that where she doesn't cover up in front of him and she doesn't mind if he sees her intimate toys. They're left out on her side table all day. He seems to be way too overprotective for her age, checking her outfit before she goes out anywhere and not allowing her to wear skirts or dresses that are too short. There are loads more examples but you get the idea. I could have this completely wrong but the relationship they have seems very off to me. I'm not sure if I should say something or if shouldn't say anything at all. Maybe it's just my interpretation of things that is wrong. I have no idea. Any advice? Edit. Some people have told me to add this to the post as it's important. She is adopted. I was ready to come in and defend a healthily close father-daughter relationship, but this is pretty weird. The most damning thing is that she's comfortable being almost completely naked in front of him, kinda weird, combined with the fact that he still disallows her from wearing short skirts and dresses. Those two kinda weird things that combine to make him look predatory. Emo, you should sit down with her and ask why exactly she's so close/comfortable with her dad. This could be completely innocent, just very weird behavior, but my worst case scenario is that she was groomed to be this way towards him. Hopefully that's not it. Also, do you know anything about her mother? Has she passed away or are the two of them divorced? It's worth asking if she grew up alone with her dad. That can explain whether or not he was the one to raise her with those boundaries. Yeah, I was all ready to think Op is overreacting but nope, that's weird. Like, some families are comfortable with nudity, so I could kind of understand that. Cuddling in bed. Okay, weird. I can't imagine being that close, but okay. Sex toys left out for all to see? Nope. Too weird. The brightest red flag of all is him checking her outfits to make sure they're not too short. Each of these individually aren't that worrying. My European family doesn't care about non-sexual nudity either. I know families where parents kiss their kids on the lips, and being cuddly with your parents isn't necessarily bad weird either. I think it's not okay to be so overprotective of adult daughters, but it definitely happens quite often. The sex toy thing is weird, but if that was the only thing I'd assume they are just some super sex positive family. But all of this together is definitely a lot. I agree it gives off very weird vibes and I can understand why it makes you uncomfortable. Edit. Oh god, she's adopted? Hell no. Poor girl. Sorry, but this is really weird. She leaves her sex toys on her nightstand and that's fine, but he won't let his adult daughter leave the house in a skirt that he thinks is too short. That's all sorts of fucked up without even getting to the other stuff. Yikes. He still punishes her for things and takes away privileges when she does something he doesn't approve of. 100% not normal. Fucking weird. My first thought, besides this being weird, are you sure that's her actual father? To me it sounds like two people getting a kick out of pretending to be father/daughter with Op's reaction and that they were brought into their fantasy unknowingly. big time wrong. There's some deep psychological issues going on with both of them. As the father, he shouldn't be okay with that behavior from his adult daughter. That sort of paternal dependency is not normal in the least. With what you described, I'm a little shocked to hear that he's okay with her having a boyfriend. I wonder what his attitude towards you is. I definitely ask her for her rationale behind the behavior and then decide what you want to do from there. Without a lot of help that she has to want, it's not going to change, and would take a long time to change at that. He's always been a little cold towards me. We have to keep the door open when in her room. My fiancée confessed to me that she kissed and cuddled her ex-boyfriend. I, 24M, am engaged to my childhood best friend, 23F. We have known each other since we were kids. I had a crush on her for the longest time, but she moved away when she was 14. When she was 15, she started dating her ex. He was her first boyfriend and by all means meant everything to her. They loved each other a lot. Not gonna lie, it hurt me for many years to see them together. They dated for nearly 6 years before their relationship became strained. He didn't like her career because it made her travel a lot. He wanted her to settle down and get married even though she was barely 21. She broke up with him because she didn't feel it was fair to stay with him when they both wanted different things. He begged her not to leave, but she said she knew it was the right thing to do, even though leaving him broke her heart. She said they didn't have a future together, no matter how much she wanted their relationship to work. This was 2 years ago. My best friend and I started dating a few months after that, and in December 2020 we got engaged. I love her so much, but sometimes I get intimidated because of how much history she has with her ex and how passionate their relationship was. It sometimes bothers me knowing that she was still in love with him when they broke up. A week ago she went on a business trip which happened to be in his city. They met for dinner as friends. She told me beforehand and I was okay with it. Then, last night when she came home, she confessed to me with tears in her eyes that she had kissed him. Apparently after dinner he invited her to his apartment for drinks. I know I shouldn't have agreed, but I did. We ended up having a few glasses of wine. I think I may have kissed him on the lips, she said. She then said that eventually, she fell asleep on the couch and she woke up to him carrying her to the guest bedroom. Then he cuddled her for a while before going to his room to sleep. In the morning she left while he was still asleep. She swears they didn't do anything more than kiss. She was crying and begging me to forgive her. I said I was obviously mad at her, but I would forgive her. I told my brother about what happened and he thinks I should reconsider, because it sounds like she's not over him. I'm at a loss. I love her so much and I don't want to lose her, but at the same time I feel like I've been kicked in my gut and I don't know if I can fully trust her again. Too long didn't read. Fiancé confessed to kissing her ex at his apartment. I don't know what to do. They fucked. Yep, and the Trickle Truth Express is running right on schedule. Sorry mate, but I'm with your brother on this. I'm not even sure I believe her story. I think I kissed him. What a load of shit. She knows what she did. Don't let your feelings for her cloud you to what's happening in front of your face. This guy will always be lurking in the background of her life and your mind. That's no way to have a marriage. Edit, Mr. Kissed. Even if by a miracle it was just a kiss and cuddling, she still went to his apartment for drinks after dinner. A friendly meal at a restaurant which she ran by op is one thing. Going to your ex's apartment and consuming alcohol, on the other hand, is a very questionable thing to do, and puts yourself already on the brink of cheating. Even if the kiss is not a lie and was a spur of the moment thing, which would be plenty bad already, but to him is not a deal breaker. She made plenty of decisions that got her there, and if you commit such a mistake you get out of there immediately, not cuddle with the guy and sleep there.